Welcome to London Property Digest, your essential 10-minute audio recap for staying informed on London's property market. Ever wonder how U.S. elections shake up London real estate? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the aftermath of the recent Trump win and what it means for you.
Yeah. What's fascinating is that we're seeing an immediate impact on London's luxury real estate market, specifically prime central London.
PCL.
Yeah, PCL, which encompasses those iconic neighborhoods, like Kensington,
Oh, yeah?
Chelsea, and Mayfair. It's experiencing a surge in interest.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're talking about the really high-end properties, right?
Yeah.
The ones that most Londoners only dream about.
Exactly. We're seeing a wave of inquiries, primarily from wealthy Americans interested in renting or buying these trophy homes. Think those grand townhouses on picturesque streets or sprawling apartments with all the amenities you could imagine.
So are we saying that Americans are fleeing Trump and heading straight for London's most exclusive postcodes?
Well, it's not quite that simple, but political sentiment certainly plays a role. Many of these individuals strongly disagree with Trump's policies and are seeking a change of scenery. But it's more than just a knee-jerk reaction. London has always been a global hub for the wealthy, and its appeal goes beyond politics.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
London's property market, especially in PCL, has been a bit sluggish lately. Could this influx of American buyers actually boost things?
It's certainly a possibility. You see, sentiment plays a huge role in the PCL market, and an influx of American buyers, especially ones with deep pockets, could shift the dynamics.
So their money's talking.
Well, their presence injects not just capital, but a sense of confidence, which can be contagious.
So it's not just about the money, it's about the overall feeling in the market.
Precisely. And what's notable is that this trend has been brewing throughout the year. Even when others hesitated due to uncertainties surrounding the UK's recent change in government and tax policies, American buyers remained active. They seem to be playing the long game.
It sounds like they're in it for more than just a quick flip. But what exactly are they looking for in London properties? What catches their eye?
They're particularly drawn to turnkey properties, those that are beautifully renovated and ready for immediate occupancy. Imagine stepping off the plane and straight into a life of luxury, with no need for renovations or decorating.
So they want the London experience, but without the hassle. Now, is there a specific type of property that's particularly popular among these American buyers?
There seems to be a preference for properties that blend traditional charm with modern amenities. Period properties, for instance, those beautiful Georgian or Victorian homes, are highly sought after, especially if they've been updated with state-of-the-art features.
So like original fireplaces alongside cutting-edge kitchens?
Yeah, and smart home technology.
So they want that classic London feel, but with all the comforts of modern living.
What about those new build developments popping up all over London? Are those attracting American buyers as well? Absolutely, especially those that offer a comprehensive range of amenities, like gyms, swimming pools, and concierge services. Developments like the recently completed Old War offices in Westminster, for example, have seen a surge in interest from American buyers. They love the convenience and the sense of community these developments offer.
It's like having a five-star hotel right at your doorstep. But it seems like there's more to this story than just politics and a desire for luxury. What's driving this new generation of American buyers?
You're right, it's not just about escaping Trump. There's a new breed of wealthy Americans, many from the tech and finance worlds, who are increasingly mobile and drawn to global cities like London. They're not tied down to one location and see London as a hub for opportunity, culture, and a vibrant lifestyle.
This mobile generation point is really intriguing. Do you think this trend of Americans buying up London property is likely to stick around?
All signs point to yes. Many are renting first to dip their toes into London life before taking the plunge into buying.
They want to test the waters first.
Yeah. Which is putting additional pressure on London's already competitive rental market. It's a smart strategy that allows them to experience the city firsthand before making a significant investment.
That makes sense, but it also raises concerns about the impact on rental prices and availability for Londoners.
It's a valid concern. However, London's appeal extends beyond politics and lifestyle. Factors like the strong dollar, which makes London property relatively more affordable for American buyers, are playing a significant role.
It's like a fail.
Right. And let's not forget about the perception of safety and stability that London offers, which is particularly attractive in today's uncertain world.
So it's a complex interplay of factors attracting American buyers to London. What are some of the key things that contribute to this perception of safety that London enjoys?
Well, the UK has a relatively low crime rate. especially when it comes to gun violence, which is a major concern for many Americans. The contrast is stark when you compare the experience of sending children to school here versus in some parts of the U.S.
I can imagine.
There's also a sense of social and political stability in London that's appealing in these turbulent times.
It's a relief to have some clarity after the fog of political uncertainty surrounding both the UK and US elections.
Exactly. It's like we've emerged from a dense fog into clear skies. This newfound certainty, combined with the other factors we've discussed, is likely to create a very active property market in the coming months.
Okay, so we've got American buyers flocking to London, potentially boosting the prime property market, and a new generation of mobile wealth making its mark. But what does this all mean for the average Londoner?
That's the million-pound question, isn't it? We're already seeing early signs of a rental market squeeze, which could push prices up even further, impacting affordability for those living and working in London. But there's also the potential for increased investment and economic activity, which could benefit the city as a whole. It's still early days, but it'll be interesting to see how these trends play out in the coming months and years.
It sounds like we're in for an interesting ride in the London property market. But before we delve deeper into the potential implications,
Let's not forget about the rental market. London's rental market is already notoriously competitive, and this influx of Americans, many of whom are choosing to rent before they buy, is adding fuel to the fire.
so it's like a double whammy. Increased demand from both American buyers and renters.
Yeah, that's right.
What does that mean for rental prices in London?
It's certainly putting upward pressure on rents, especially in prime central London, where these Americans are flocking. We're already seeing bidding wars for desirable properties, and landlords are becoming increasingly selective about their tenants.
That's concerning for anyone looking to rent in London, not just those directly competing with American renters.
It is.
What's driving this rent before you buy trend among Americans?
It's a savvy strategy, really. For some, it's a way to get a feel for different neighborhoods, experience the London lifestyle, and figure out if it's truly the right fit for them before making a long-term commitment. Others might be waiting for the property market to settle further or hoping to take advantage of future shifts in exchange rates.
It's like a test drive for London life.
Exactly.
But as you said, this test drive comes at a cost for Londoners already struggling with the high cost of living.
It's a valid concern, and it highlights the ripple effects that global events can have on local housing markets. We're seeing how political shifts in one country can have tangible effects on the lives of people in another, particularly in a global city like London.
It underscores the interconnectedness of our world and how decisions made by the wealthy few can have a ripple effect on the many. We've talked about the appeal of London as a safe haven, but what exactly does that mean in the context of the current global landscape?
It goes beyond just politics. London is seen as a stable and secure environment with a robust legal system, a transparent government, and a relatively low crime rate, particularly when it comes to gun violence.
Right?
This sense of stability is highly appealing to Americans who might be feeling uneasy about the political and social climate back home.
And that's a big draw for Americans, especially those with families.
Absolutely. The contrast with the U.S., where gun violence and social unrest are major concerns, is stark. Many Americans are seeking a sense of security and peace of mind that they may not feel they have back home.
You mentioned earlier that the UK and US elections, despite their turbulence, have actually created a sense of certainty in the market. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, both elections were surrounded by a lot of uncertainty and speculation. It was like navigating through a dense fog with limited visibility and unpredictable outcomes. But now that the dust has settled, we have a clearer view of the political landscape in both countries.
So the fog is lifted.
Yeah. This newfound clarity is crucial for investors and buyers who may have been holding back due to the uncertainty.
So it's like a breath of fresh air for the market, allowing people to move forward with more confidence.
Exactly. And that's why we're seeing this surge in activity, particularly from American buyers who are now feeling more certain about investing in the London property market. They're no longer waiting on the sidelines, hesitant to make a move.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But what about the economic factors? How are they playing into this trend?
Well, the strength of the dollar against the pound is a major factor. It makes London property more affordable for American buyers, especially compared to other global cities like New York or Hong Kong.
Oh, interesting.
It's almost like they're getting a discount, which further incentivizes them to invest.
So it's a combination of a favorable exchange rate
Yeah.
and the desire for a stable, secure investment.
Precisely. And let's not forget about the falling property prices in prime central London. The market has softened in recent years, which means there are attractive opportunities for savvy investors.
Mm.
American buyers, with their strong dollars, are well positioned to capitalize on these opportunities.
So it's like a perfect storm for them. A favorable exchange rate, falling prices, and a desire for a safe haven.
It's a confluence of factors that's creating a very attractive proposition for American buyers, especially those seeking a long-term investment with potential for appreciation.
We've talked about the political and economic factors, but there's also this intangible aspect of lifestyle and cultural appeal. What is it about London that draws Americans in?
London has always held a certain allure for Americans. It's a city steeped in history and tradition, yet it's also incredibly cosmopolitan and forward-thinking. It offers world-class theater, museums, restaurants, and a vibrant cultural scene that's hard to match.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the appeal of being able to easily travel to other European destinations from London.
It's like a gateway to Europe with the added bonus of speaking English.
Exactly. And for Americans who are feeling disillusioned or anxious about the current state of affairs back home, London offers a sense of escape and reinvention. It's a place where they can immerse themselves in a different culture, explore new perspectives, and perhaps even redefine their sense of self.
It's fascinating to see how global events and individual choices intersect and shape the London property market. It's a reminder that we're all part of a larger, interconnected world.
Absolutely. And what's happening in London right now is a microcosm of those global trends and the anxieties that many people are feeling. The desire for stability, security, and a sense of belonging is universal, and London seems to be offering that to Americans seeking a change.
We've talked a lot about the potential benefits of this influx of American buyers:
Yeah.
investment, market stability, and cultural exchange. But what about the potential downsides? What are some of the concerns that Londoners might have?
One of the biggest concerns is the impact on affordability. As we've discussed, increased demand from American buyers and renters is driving up prices, making it even harder for Londoners to find affordable housing. This is especially worrying for young people, families, and those on lower incomes who are already struggling with the high cost of living in London.
It's like a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you have the potential for economic growth and investment.
Right.
But on the other hand, you have the risk of pushing ordinary Londoners further out of the market.
Exactly. And then there's the issue of gentrification. The influx of wealth can lead to changes in the character of neighborhoods, potentially displacing longtime residents and businesses. This can erode the social fabric of communities and create a sense of displacement and resentment.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers. It requires careful consideration and thoughtful urban planning to ensure that the benefits of foreign investment are shared more equitably.
Absolutely. It's about finding a balance between welcoming foreign investment and protecting the interests of existing communities. It's about creating a city that works for everyone, not just the wealthy elite.
We've talked about American buyers being drawn to period properties with modern amenities.
Uh-huh.
Can you paint a picture for our listeners of what they're looking for? What are some specific examples?
Imagine those classic London townhouses with their elegant stucco facades, intricate moldings, and high ceilings. They exude a sense of history and grandeur that's hard to resist. But modern buyers, especially Americans, also want the comforts of contemporary living. They're looking for updated kitchens with top-of-the-line appliances, spa-like bathrooms, and smart home technology that seamlessly integrates into their lives.
So it's a blend of old-world charm and modern convenience.
Precisely.
They want the best of both worlds.
Precisely. And they're willing to pay a premium for it. Properties that have been meticulously renovated to meet these high standards are in high demand, and that's driving up prices in certain neighborhoods.
What about those new build developments that are springing up all over London? What are American buyers looking for in those?
They're attracted to developments that offer a sense of community and a wide range of amenities. Think state-of-the-art gyms, swimming pools, private cinemas, and 247 concierge services. It's like living in a five-star hotel with all the comforts and conveniences you could imagine.
It sounds like they're seeking a lifestyle that's both luxurious and hassle-free.
Yeah.
Is location a major factor for them as well?
Absolutely. Prime central London is still the most sought-after area, with neighborhoods like Mayfair, Knightsbridge, and Belgravia attracting significant interest. These areas offer proximity to world-class shopping, dining, and cultural attractions, as well as excellent transport links. But we're also seeing interest in up-and-coming areas that offer a bit more value for money, such as Battersea and Shoreditch.
So it's a mix of established prestige and emerging hotspots. It seems like American buyers are diversifying their interests within the London property market.
That's right. They're no longer just focused on the traditional prime areas. They're exploring different neighborhoods, looking for unique opportunities that align with their lifestyle and investment goals.
It's an exciting time to be watching the London property market. So much is happening, and it's all unfolding so quickly. What are some of the key takeaways that our listeners should keep in mind as they navigate this evolving landscape?
Well, the first takeaway is that the London property market is highly dynamic and influenced by a complex interplay of global events, economic forces, and individual choices. It's essential to stay informed and adaptable to navigate these changes successfully.
So knowledge is power,
Absolutely.
especially in the property market.
Absolutely. The more you understand the forces at play, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions. And the second takeaway is that the London property market is resilient and continues to attract global investors, particularly from the U.S.
Okay.
This influx of foreign capital can bring both benefits and challenges, and it's important to be aware of both sides of the coin.
So it's about being aware of the opportunities and the potential pitfalls
Yeah.
and finding a balance that works for London as a whole.
Precisely. And finally, I would say that the London property market is full of surprises. Just when you think you have a grasp on the trends, something unexpected happens.
Yeah.
So stay curious, keep exploring, and be prepared for the unexpected.
Those are wise words.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground today, but I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, this idea of London as a safe haven. It's a theme that keeps coming up in our conversations. Can you delve a little deeper into what that means for American buyers in the current global context?
It goes beyond just politics. The world feels increasingly uncertain and volatile, with political polarization, social unrest, and economic instability in various parts of the globe. In this context, London offers a sense of stability, predictability, and security. That's deeply appealing to many Americans.
Yeah.
They see London as a place where they can escape the anxieties and uncertainties of their own country and find a sense of peace and tranquility.
So it's not just about physical safety, but also a sense of psychological and emotional security.
Exactly. It's about feeling grounded and secure in a world that often feels like it's spinning out of control. And London, with its long history, established institutions, and cosmopolitan outlook, offers that sense of grounding.
It's fascinating how these perceptions of safety and stability can vary so much from country to country, and how they influence individual decisions and global trends.
It's a reflection of our different histories, cultures, and political systems, and it highlights the importance of understanding these nuances when analyzing global trends and individual motivations.
So for Americans seeking a safe haven, both literally and figuratively, London seems to be ticking all the boxes.
It certainly is, and that's why we're seeing this surge in interest from American buyers, not just for investment purposes, but also for lifestyle reasons. They're seeking a place where they can feel safe, secure, and part of a thriving, diverse community.
We've talked about the impact of this influx of American buyers on the London property market. But what about the impact on London itself? How is this changing the fabric of the city?
That's a big question, and it's one that we're only just beginning to understand. The influx of wealth and foreign buyers can bring both positive and negative changes to a city.
Right.
On the one hand, it can stimulate economic growth, create jobs, and revitalize neighborhoods. But on the other hand, it can also lead to rising inequality, displacement of local residents, and a loss of community character.
It's like a delicate balancing act,
Yeah.
trying to harness the benefits of foreign investment while mitigating the potential downsides.
Exactly. And it requires careful planning, thoughtful policies, and open dialogues between policymakers, developers, residents, and newcomers to ensure that the growth and change benefit everyone, not just a privileged few.
What are some of the key things that our listeners should be paying attention to as these trends continue to unfold?
Well, I think it's important to watch how the influx of American buyers impacts affordability in London. Will rising prices make it even harder for Londoners to find housing? Or will the increased investment lead to more housing options and greater affordability in the long run?
It's a question of supply and demand and how the market adjusts to these new dynamics.
Exactly. And it's also important to observe how the character of London's neighborhoods evolves. Will the influx of foreign buyers lead to gentrification and displacement? Or will it foster a greater sense of diversity and vibrancy?
These are questions that will be answered over time as we see how these trends play out in the real world.
Indeed. And it's a reminder that the London property market, like the city itself, is constantly evolving and adapting to new realities. It's a fascinating process to observe and one that we'll continue to follow closely.
This has been an incredibly insightful conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sure our listeners have gleaned valuable insights into the forces shaping the London property market.
It has been fascinating.
But before we wrap up, I'd like to ask you for one final thought. What is the most important thing for our listeners to keep in mind as they navigate the London property market in this new era?
I would say the most important thing is to stay informed, stay engaged, and stay curious. The London property market is complex and ever-changing, and there's always something new to learn. So do your research, talk to experts, and don't be afraid to ask questions. And above all, remember that the London property market is not just about bricks and mortar, it's about people, communities, and the future of this amazing city.
That's a great note to end on. Thank you for sharing your insights and expertise with us today. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure was all mine. I always enjoy discussing the intricacies of the London property market.
And for our listeners, if you're looking to stay ahead of the curve, get the inside scoop on all things London property, be sure to subscribe to London Property Digest for the latest updates on the London property market. Until next time, happy property hunting.